Okay, so we will start with this one. Okay, we can say like Mr. Secom will be responsible for introduction. Lesson plan will be responsible by Janita, and classroom management chair by Lada, methodology by Lihu, and the last one by Super. This is the thing. Okay, so are you ready to start? Yes.
Yes, teacher. Before we start our presentation, we need to open our practicum different, teacher, right?
Yeah, you can use your slide PowerPoint. Okay, it's fine. How you prepare your slide?
Yes, teacher. I'm already ready, teacher. Very good.
And do you know how long that you want to do presentation here?
Around 1 hour 50, teacher.
1 hour
1
and
hour and 50.
50 or 15?
50.
Okay, so you try your best. Try your best in here. Just try to make your speaker just evenly spread, like equally. We can say like that means some member will speak very short and some will speak very long. Okay, so the examiner, Professor Seng Long, are you ready for that? Can we start now?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Jandon, are you ready for this?
Yeah, lecturer, I'm ready.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, for the presenter, please turn on your camera as well whenever you do your presentation here, right? Or maybe
Teacher,
you can
you let me to share the slide, teacher?
Okay, I will stop here. Okay. Okay, so you can start sharing your slide.
Okay, teacher. Wait a minute. Sorry. Sure, I cannot share the screen.
Okay, teacher, wait. Something here. Okay, so can you share? You can try again.
Okay, sure. Yes.
Okay, so you can start sharing now. Okay, we can see your slide now.
So let's start, teacher. First of all, I would like to show my respect to our Excellency, Mr. Nopnoran, and our dean of our institute is Mr. Lon Philip, and another three examiner is Mr. Somara, Mr. Sing Long, and Mr. Chen Don. And before we start the presentation point, we would like to show our background that for today we have only 5 members to present, and this is our member of the group. Our supervisor is Mr. Nyam Sawanaras, and my name Paul Lihuas.
My name is Lada. My name is Super. My name is Janita.
My name is Khmer.
And about the first part is respond by Mr. Kesakom, and he will respond it now, and I will return it to him. Thank you. And this is our content for today.
Yes, thank you. Continue with my friend Olihu. Yes, I respond introduction. There's importance of device objectives in the year 4. Foundation of education apply linguistics, taking methodology, translation, and approaching research methodology. Yes, next. Yes, history of education, kind and fonts of education, evolution and education, and school management. For you. Yes, apply linguistics. Different approach and language teaching style and techniques and language as practice, logic and modalities, meaning and of this language. How to plan a lesson, method of teaching, grammars, in institute and institute, teaching point and teaching vocabulary. Yes, next slide. Good translation. Semester 1 is written for majors, 5 majors in May of translation process, typologies and translation. Semester 2 is written types of interpreting and process in interpreting. Yes, next slide. Yes, research methodologies, kind of research, studies and invoice, and is predictive, how to call data, how to write a literature review, how to write a brochure. To put training into the roles practice to become professional teachers in the future, to develop trainees teaching confidently. Yes, that's all. That's all. You will continue. Nghiêm Janita.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Practicum. Now we will move to the second point for the lesson plan. And the lesson plan I have 5 points. And the first is, what is lesson plan? And the lesson plan is a structured roadmap of what we need to learn and how it will be done effectively during in the classroom. And the next question is, why do we need a lesson plan? Lesson plan is the essential because it can help the teacher conduct their lesson in the class and allow students to know what they are going to be learning and how it fits to the class. And everyone you know that the lesson plan have two kinds of lesson plan. And the first kind is PPL, it means present practice production, or PPL, present practice lesson. And PPL can be applied for teaching grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. And the aim of PPL is introduce a new language. And about the objective we use when we write the objective is in the end of the lesson that student will be able to use a new language effectively and correctly. This is the first kind of lesson plan. And the second kind of lesson plan is PRS. It means practice review skill, or PRL, practice review lesson. And it can apply for teaching for skill like reading, listening, speaking. And the aim of PRS is to practice a new language. And the objective of PRS is by the end of the lesson, students will be able to practice a new language smoothly and fluently. And remember, PRS we can apply teaching for skill, but when we teaching in the class, we focus only one skill. So here is about the lesson plan. I will end my point and move to the second point, classroom management, to Miss Elada.
Thank you, Nita, and good evening. My name is Elada, and my point is the teaching methodology. It's the classroom management. Classroom management is the term teacher used to describe the process of ensuring that classroom lesson runs smoothly without disruptive behavior from students, compromising the delivery of introduction. And in the classroom management, we have a lot of points. Management student from classroom rule. It have management student when do exercise in peer group or individual. Management student during teaching, like student asking and give the answer. And management student during break time. Get student involved in teaching, individual work or peer group, keep student quiet and attentive. When we teach in the class, we need to control the student quiet when we explain to them, and clear introduction and explanation. The teacher need to be clear to explaining to the student, and chair, desk and table arrangement in the class before we teach. Voice time management and well prepare, and uniform for the student. We need to check them, and the teacher or the trainee need have document to supervisor and group member, and the teacher or the trainee need the handout for the student also when we teach. Point to improve. The point we first and also lacks. We need whiteboard using like marker, something like that in the class. Time management, the teacher or the trainee, we need to follow the time in the lesson plan, and pronunciation is clear in the class. Next slide. And next is resolution of this problem. Complete all steps of the lesson plan in time. The trainee or the teacher, they need to complete all the steps of the lesson before we teach. Manage class effectively. It means like we need to control the class nicely, make the student quiet, and make a real teacher even first time. It helps when the other chance where we will tell the student before we teach. And thank you for my point. And let's move to Sophia. Oh, Lihu, sorry.
This part is responded by me. Teaching methodology. Teaching methodology. The kind of teaching methodology, and we already know that notify that the teaching methodology there have two way, two part like STT and TTT. STT is focused about the student talking time, and the TTT teacher teaching time. And yes, this is two kind of our teaching methodology. The first one is student center. Student center is mean like when in the class we need to have a student work in group, work in pairs, or student need to do their exercise, their learning from themselves, or just asking teacher to have the way to find the way to finish their class. And yes, this is the work in pair group, work group, or presentation group. And TTT is focused on the teacher talking time. The teacher talking time is mean it's time the teacher show their understanding and share to all the students in the class. And it is like it's time to teacher to explain their lesson plan, their plan to teach, and the lesson, the last of their the last time, and how the student get many sharing from the teachers. And yes, this is the part of the teacher talking time is explanation, asking the student of the question, and control the student. And in this, teacher also really important of the class management. Teacher need to be the control, like the best control in class. Yes, and this is two approach on teaching grammars. There are two in teaching grammar is in deductive method and deductive method. And inductive method is for like the teacher take the student from the general to specific, and it means like from the example to form. And yes, and deductive method, like the teacher need to share the student to like from the form to example, from the specific to general. It's mean like that. Example, I love my mom, and this is like example, and the teacher will show the form, subject plus verb plus object, something like this. Yes, and that's all of my part, and I will give a chance to Miss Cecil Peck to control her part. Thank you, teacher.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Yes, thank you, Mr. Li Hua, for giving me a turn. Yeah, this is my responsible. I responsible on the conclusion. Oh, so slide. Okay. The first I want to talk about the introduction, some of the 5 subjects that I learned from the year 4. Yes. Yeah. The first is foundation of education. Foundation is education is the subject that we studied about the education. For instead, we learn about the historical, physiological, and about to see many new things in the film or the education, especially the invented as the education and the development of the education from the past until to the present. And the applied linguistic. Applied linguistic is the name of the subject that learn about the applying knowledge about the language to the real world issue. The subject give us about the solution and the language relate the problem and many new things as the language learning and teaching. In short, the subject provide us the knowledge of the language very well. And the third one is teaching methodology. Teaching methodology is the subject provide the principle that measure use of introduction that upliftment by the teacher to achieve the user's learning and the student, especially from the subject. We are more aware of doing lesson plan and managing the classroom very well. And the fourth one is translation and interpreting. Translation and interpreting is the subject that we have learned a lot from the film of the language. Translation and interpreting includes the difference between translate and interpreting. The effective way of the translate and interpreting are so on. Therefore, we can this knowledge and any relevant tag and the future current of the translator or interpreter. And the last one is the research methodology. Research methodology is the one important subject among the five. Without researching, learner could not develop their understanding a lot of from the subject. We will on the process that doing one research project, and we will expect our knowledge better because we are about to the method used in doing research. How to process the lesson plan? We process the lesson plan. We need to identify the lesson objective and the plan specific learning activities, plan access student understanding, plan to sequence lesson in the entering and the meaningful, and create the really time on timelines and the plan for a lesson closer, and how to allow the step of the lesson plan. We have two kinds of the lesson plan. The first kind is PPP or PPL. This lesson plan, it have 5 steps. The first step is lesson opener, warm up and review, presentation stack, practice stack, and the lesson closer. And for the aim of this lesson plan is introduction about the new language, and the objective of this lesson plan, the end of the lesson, student will be able to use a new language. And the one more, uh, P or S or P or L. It's the aim of the P or S or P or L is mean practice about the new language. And the step have of 6 steps. How to control student during teaching. How to control a student during teaching. When we need to start the new lesson, we need to set the classroom rule to the student. We need to set the rule for doing pair work group, or individual. And for the how to conduct the rule in effectively, we will to in explaining to the student in clearly and explain need to use a more how to go a teacher, how to be a good teacher. A good teacher needs to have a good lesson plan, have a confidence when the teaching. We have the good communication with the student, and we need make some fun attitude in class to the student, and student center approach is mean like teaching talking time. Talking time is mean like when the teacher teaching, student need to silent and pay attention on the teacher teaching. And the student talking time is mean like the student like a student work in group or individual. And we have two kind of approach teaching grammar. We have inductive and deductive. Inductive, it means teaching to general to specific example. It means when you teach a grammar, we need to tell example first, and then you need to tell the student about the form. And the deductive, it means you tell a student, it means specific to general. It means teacher need use the form first, and then tell a student about the example. And how to prepare themselves to teaching students. It means we need to design the lesson plan, classroom management, and interaction with a group and dean and supervisor. How to write a teaching report, journal, and reflection paper. Yes, this is our suggestions and recommendation. The first one is participant with group member and supervisor. 2, come on time teaching and discussion. 3, involved with the orientation class. 4, role play before defined day. Test ability. 5 is understanding the 5 points in defense slide. That suggestion in school to keep doing on teaching practicum on the next generations and extend more time for teaching practicum. Yeah, it's all of our group depend, and so thank you. the examiner and the supervisor and the participant. Okay. Thank you for your paying attention.
Okay,
Yes,
so okay, you have something to add?
Yes, just to say thank you to professor and ask you to listen. And if you have any question, you can ask our group. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much for your presentation. Yeah, and you can say like some article insightful and informative that we can come up with some reflection and can see something in here. But to be clear, okay, we are going to ask some question. And okay, first I would like to invite lecturer Sinh Long just ask some question to the group, or maybe you can point to any particular people to answer the question. It's fine as well. Yeah, the floor is yours, Professor.
Thank you, Mr. Somara, for giving me the time to share idea to ask any question possible. But based on my experience in evaluating the other university students about their different presentation, so when each presenter finishes their part, yeah, so it's time to be asked by the other evaluators, etc. But here we allow all the students to continue their different presentation that share the path from the past 5, points. So I cannot remember. I forget some point.
Which part teacher will show the slide?
Yeah, but anyway, I appreciate all the students who try their all the best to present the idea from the selecting, or we might say appointing or drawing topic, without realizing ahead, So I really appreciate. But anyway, I persuade them. This is just the mock, presentation. So in the real presentations, I would like you to improve your English speaking a little bit by make it more accurate. Because I learned that you speak English seems to be not so smooth. So try to familiarize your speaking habit, speak it smoothly, naturally. Okay, rehearse it every time. When you repeat it every time, it will familiarize in your mind all the time, language. And when you want to speak it out, it flows out automatically without preparing at all. This is the way to practice speaking English. Okay, I have only that advice for the real different presentation.
For your advice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, lecturer, for your comment. Again, not question. Okay, but check that point that you can remember and follow. Okay, so to me, I better ask some question to the group, and later on I will comment to you later on, right? Okay, since we just want to learn more about you, okay, since your presentation maybe not everything that we can understand. Okay, so regarding to your presentation as well as your process of practicum, okay, can you tell or share with us in here? We can see whether you face some challenges with your classroom management, and what part that you feel that is just the most difficult one that you can manage, that you can just keep your teaching to go smoothly in here, for example, right? Yeah, so yeah, every member can contribute, it's fine.
Yes, teacher, thank you for the question. About me, classroom management is really important with the teaching a teacher. And when we are going to teach, before we need to do the lesson plan. And then if like we are a teacher, we need to know that what is we are going to show the student today and to make the student understand today. And the classroom management is like, if you are follow the lesson plan, the classroom management is not difficult and difficult much. And yes, if we are a new teacher, we really a bit nervous, but we need to control ourselves that because we are already prepared the lesson plan and the everything that we need to share with our student. Yes, that's all for me, teacher, and my group member will add more.
Okay, thank you. Next, who else?
May I, teacher?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, for me about the challenging about classroom management, as you know about if we take the the children, it's easy to control it, but we imagine it if we teach an adult, it's hard to control the classroom management. Like if subject they don't interest in the subject, they don't listen to us, they don't pay attention to the lesson. That's why it's the challenging about the classroom management. And what we resolution is we need to make more attractive about the lesson and make them interest in the lesson and make them pay attention. And like some we can play some game that can we take their attention to our lesson as well. This is my resolution and about the challenging. Yes, here is my point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Nita. And how about other? Any answer or anything to contribute with this point?
Yeah, teacher, for my opinion about the classroom management, I have one more idea, yes, like we need to, when we take the kid is the easy way to control them, and we follow the classroom management, the rule of the classroom. But for when we teaching the adult, it's hard for us to control. But we need to have the special one. The lesson is made like we need the best point of the lesson to show it, and we have to asking the question, and we need to have the question and answer and more communication with them about this lesson. That's all, teacher, for me. Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, I have some point for answer to your question. For my point is the rule for the class. Before the trainer or the teacher go to teach the student in the class, we need to know about the rule clearly before we teach, because some student in the class, they not pay attention with the teacher when the teacher teach, or they make something noise in the class, or they don't listen to teacher. We need to tell them or let them to sit down and pay attention, and the teacher need to be make the lesson interested for the student. And that's all for my point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. How about Mr. Sakom? Any answer to this one?
I don't have teacher.
Okay, thank you for this one. Okay, one more question. It's not to go far away from classroom management. Okay, in case that we can say when you are teaching, when you are explaining from at the whiteboard, for example, and then you have noticed that two of your students keep chit-chatting or doing something else that they did not pay attention to your explanation or to your lesson in here. And then how can you stop them without letting them feel upset? Okay, so how can you do that? Stop the student from chit-chatting or playful in the class, but avoiding from being let them feel sad or upset in your class in here. Yeah, if you stop them, you blame them, they may feel not happy or no more attention to the lesson in here. So how can you stop them but still let them feel happy in here? You got what I mean?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
I got it.
Thank you.
Can I be first, teacher?
Yeah, okay, it's fine.
Yeah, thank you for your question. It's a good question, and also I face it every day. Yeah, for example, I'm just teaching on the whiteboard, and the student they are chatting. So, for example, I teaching in grammar. So I will, for example, I take the form of grammar, and then I explain, but they don't. They did not listen to me. They still chatting. So. My resolution is I will call them and I put the form and take the example. But I'm not just I will let them come to whiteboard and take the example for me and also for the class. And I will explain more for them as well when they come on the whiteboard. This is my resolution. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, teacher, for the question. Depends on me. If I am a teacher and while I'm teaching and the student like they don't focus on my lesson or the whiteboard, they still chatting with others like program. We are a teacher. We need to know that the lesson, why they don't care about the lesson. The lesson is not interesting, or we are talking more boring to them. And next, we need to ask like call their name and ask them that today you ask why while I'm teaching, why you still chatting? That the chatting is important than the lesson, or the lesson is important than the chatting. If the chatting is important, you need to go out and chatting with your friend. But if the lesson is more important for you, please keep your phone off and look at the whiteboard and preparing yourself. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Any other answer? Okay. Any member want to share? Come on.
Can I, teacher?
Please. Yeah.
For my answer, I have a little bit. If I teach in the class and some student chatting do something in the class, when I see them, I say, hello, what are you doing? It is class time, no phone in the class, and I schedule again for them, and I give some activity to them to do it in the class. That's all. Thank you, teacher.
Thank you. By Mr. Secom, any answer, please?
No.
Hey, train at my house.
Teacher, can I?
Okay. Yeah, come on, come
I'm
on.
not here. No, your voice.
Teacher, for me, during I'm teaching and the student it has some activity in class like the chatting that you said at the moment. I have the resolution like I asked them what why you chatting, and he said something like he has the problem at home, or he has some important to tell the family or friend in chatting. I let him go out the class and then let him 5 minutes or 2 minutes, 3 minutes, like you want to chatting with your family or friend, and then I let them go in and have a time explain them more about our lesson, and ask and then ask some question of the lesson and have the exercise for them. That's all the time.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Secom, you want to share something?
Yes, teacher, for me.
Yeah, come on.
Yes. If student not has look at the whiteboard, we ask control a student tell not play phone because it noisy in the class. Yeah, that's all, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your answering. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this case we can say like actually you do not have much time while teaching, and then you have noticed that they are chit-chatting. Your reason we can say since the lesson is important, you don't want they keep chit-chatting. It seems like it might be disturb other students to understand the lesson as well, right? So that's why we need to consider what are the things that we can stop them. If you call them their name, they may feel upset as well. Why? When you call them by name, the rest of the class, they may look or glare at them, and all of the eyes will be looking at them in here. All right. If you just telling them or explain them, okay, you better not do this, you better not do that, it still let them feel upset in here. Yes. Yeah, maybe the rest of the time they may stop talking, stop. Even we can say like no more feeling to learn. We can say no more feeling in the class in here. Yeah, so this is the thing that you need to consider. Okay, so in short one, I just want to share now since it's the mock presentation, but it might be something that you can learn. We can say like to me, I can say I can immediately apply one short activity. I may clap my hand. Okay, everyone, just stand up. Stand up and move around to move out from your place. And then find a new partner to talk about one thing for each. We can say like two things. We can say one people must talk about one thing about the lesson, today's lesson. Okay, and let them move out. Okay, everyone should move out from their place, for example. And after they finish, I may clap the other hand. After 1 or 2 minutes later, I may clap my hand. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for your speaking. Thank you, no need to go back to your place, just sit there. So what happened? They did not even know about the way that I'm trying to separate them there. When we separate them to work with the new people, they seem like start with the new topic. Before they can understand about the topic that they're talking, it's just too late in here. So they just move there. This is the way that I normally apply when I have noticed that the students are actually chatting in my class without letting them let them know I'm doing that as well. And they may feel nothing about this one. Okay, just sharing here. Okay, so let's move to the other questions in this mark, and we just want to propose some question for you to be ready for your final defense as well, right? So just try to think and keep answering some more, and I may extend some time, and then we just move to the overall comment later on. Okay, so regarding to your lesson planning, so what are the parts that is really important for your lesson planning that guarantee that, okay, when you go and teach, the thing might be successfully or achieve more in your class in here? So which part of your lesson learning that you think it is the most important part? Okay, you got my point?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, so okay, about this part, I do not mind. You also can discuss among your team. I give you 1 or 2 minutes to discuss, and then give me one good answer for this one. It's fine. All right? Yes.
Yeah, teacher. Thank you for your question. About me, the lesson plan, I think is the aim and attitude is the important in the part of the lesson plan. If the aim and attitude we set the wrong, so the stage of lesson plan is wrong as well. So when we put the aim and attitude is the correctly, we can teach the student correctly. So as I understand, is the aim and attitude is the important part in the lesson plan. Yes, teacher.
As Anita question, it is our question. Our answer, teacher. As Anita
Yeah.
answer, it is our answer.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank
One
you.
team, one answer, teacher.
Yeah, one team, one answer. Yeah. Okay, so to add on your answer, to the great answer here, how can you know your lesson objective is the great or really good lesson aim or lesson objective in here? So how? Do you want to discuss again? One team, one answer, or just one individually? It's fine.
Let us, sorry, second teacher.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, teacher, for the question. Like, depend on our question. Our answer is, if we want to make aim and attitude like it is a good or correctly, before we need to set aim and attitude. We need to look at the lesson first, and we need to read first, and to find that it is in PPL or POS. Before we set aim, we need to understand the lesson first. It is going to present practice lesson or review lessons here. Thank you, teachers.
Okay, thank you for this. Okay, but what is the difference between the lesson objective of PRS or PRL in here? Any different? We can say whether the way the teacher can measure or assess to your lesson objective are differently or the same. Yeah.
Yes, teacher, is different about PPL and PRS is different. About the PPL is the aim is to introduce the new language, to introduce, but for the PRS is to practice the new language. So it's different. One is introduce and one is the practice. Yes, thank you, teacher.
Yeah. We can say like it just one just start a new lesson, one just practice or just continue the lesson in here. Is it?
Yes, teacher, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Is I'm not wrong like that one. But this is just thing that you can understand about what kind of thing that you are going to teach about this one. But how can you guarantee your lesson objective can be achievable? Because as you plan and you bring your lesson to apply in the class, your student will be able to learn, will be able to achieve at the end of this one. Yeah, as Anita mentioned earlier, we can say like if your lesson objective is not clear, it's not good enough, your lesson will not be good or really great in here. It really the challenge for your student to learn as well. You got what I mean? So how can you know that one? Yeah, your answer one we can say like it go to identify whether what kind of lesson that you are going to teach. Yes, something there. And so
Teacher, can I have 1 minute?
yeah, okay.
Thanks, teacher.
Mà xong mà chia sẻ là cụ sinh long đấy và dù tích thì cụ nhầm xong prolong là dù tích chứ cụ.
Yes.
Yeah, come on.
Yes, Chair. Our discussion, we think is the objective is the main because when before and after we write the objective, we put the what the student get after we teach to them. So in the objective is the main point, like after like we put on it how the student get after we are teaching the student. So in here is the main point, and after we put it, we can assign in the stage of the lesson plan as well follow our objective that student get it. Yes, is my point, teacher.
Yes, this is our answer, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I do not satisfy with that one yet. Just keep going and find it. We can say like I tell you directly like that is not the answer. So after this, maybe you can prepare that question before your final defense. I will ask it again, right?
Thank teacher. It is really
Yeah,
good.
so prepare it. Yeah, prepare, and we can say like really important for this part that the teacher must know how to set the lesson objective and how to assess or test your objective whether it is practical or not in here. All right. If you are a teacher and you don't know this, maybe really disaster in your class in here. You know it's important, but you don't know how to test it.
Yes, teacher. The answer at the final round it will better than now, teacher.
Yeah, so keep finding it. I will not tell you, but just keep finding it and discuss and rehearse like you know, Saint Long tell you. So this question will some part that really alert you or inform you what you should do with that one. And not only just for your defense, but it might be for your career as a teacher. All right? Yeah, the teacher must know, must do something in here. You cannot be a void if you love to be a teacher. Okay, so move to other part. You can see I asked you about classroom management, about lesson plan. Okay, let's move to teaching methodology. Yes. So so far, okay, what do you think? Which teaching method do you think is the most important and effective during your teaching practice in here? Yeah, I want to hear from everyone. Just a short answer one. Yeah, everyone just answer the question here, right? No discussion.
So about me, like in methodology, there has two kind of in here, like STT and TTT. STT is like the student taking time, and the TTT, the teacher talking time. It's both of them are really important because if which one that don't
Okay, other.
if the like the student don't cooperate with the teacher, they cannot be must be good one because it must be go together, teacher and the student, and everything will be better. Thank you.
Okay, actually good. How about other member? A short one, that's fine.
Yes, yes, for me, teacher, I think both of them is important, the same important. Why? Because it depends on the lesson. For example, grammar. Why we is about the GTM, about the TTT, teacher talking time. So we cannot use the STT, student talking time. So, and about the STT, we just put about the communication, like speaking, listening is about the student, they do it. So we cannot separate like, oh, this one is important, that one is important. I don't think so, but I think it's both of them is important, the same. It's my, I'm thinking, yeah.
Thank you. Other member?
Yes, teacher. So my answer is not so far from my member group, and I don't have more idea. Thank you.
Okay, so one group, two answer, right? Thank you. Okay, how about other member? Sophia?
Yes, teacher. For my opinion, is not so far that my group member. Yes, when we teaching, we start the class. We need the both of them, STT or TTT. Yeah, like TTT is the teaching talking time, and STT it means student talking time. The before we start the class, we need to first the teacher talking time, like the teacher have the explanation to the student, and then the student give it back to teacher, like gives the answer, like the example. like that, teacher. That's all for my opinion. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you. How about Mr. Sakom? Any answer?
Not have idea, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this part, okay, I just want to inform you that STT and SST is not the teaching method in here, all right? But it is just about the balance, about the talking time or the activity of the teacher and the student in here, all right? So you better define more about what are the teaching methods, what are the teaching technique, and what are the principle or the nature of a teaching technique or teaching method there. Really important. So teaching techniques, teaching method are the weapon of the teacher. Yes, you can say like if you don't know those things, it might be disaster as well. Like yeah, maybe you are in the battle, but you do not have any weapon to fight. Or some people may apply it, but you may not know what it is about. But to me, I recommend you practice it. You better know it as well. All right. So I do not tell you what are they right now. This is maybe you can take note and define more. I will ask again after this.
Thank teacher. We will fight for.
Yeah. So just go and doing something there. Yeah, this is the best way for this one. Okay, so that's it. That for some of the question. Actually, I still have some more, but since we nearly running out of time, and I noticed that most of you maybe stay outside right now. It might be too late for you to go and travel home as well. It might be raining outside as well, right?
Yes, teachers, of course. It's a big rain.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my comment regarding to your presentation here, right? I do appreciate with your slide preparation, but the slide here, it seems like more the same with other thing from the previous promotion as well, or batch as well. So yeah, if you can add something by your own, it just might appreciate it for that thing. Not mean everything just the same, but just try to add some more. It might be much better. And okay, my comment to Sakom. I think Sakom may be a bit challenges. Okay, you can say like you can get along with this thing, but honestly speaking, maybe you need to improve your English, rehearse more like what lecturer Saint Long just mentioned. So this is the thing that we can have. But I'm not sure whether because you have prepare and plan something for your point, but this one you went wrong with your plan or something there. But anyway, just keep trying. We can say keep trying. So this is my direct comment and feedback to this. Not upset you, but maybe you can prepare something there. And I hope that for the final, you will be better, and the group member can help you as well. I hope you will meet up. Start meeting up not just today, but the rest maybe you can meet up and rehearse, and you can take the record here, and then you can start to review and you can learn as well. Okay.
Thank teacher for your good advice.
Okay.
Teacher.
And the other we can say like about Lihu, Lada, and Nita, it might be not the trouble much, and as a pair, just a bit reluctant. I have noticed in here, but I know the reason reluctant, maybe because of the member. I strongly believe. So, oh, this is not something. To me, we can say I feel similar to this one. I understand. We can say when I do presentation, go to bed should not show any sign in front of me right now. Keep me going on until I finish. You can comment me. But whatever I'm doing, if you try to change me that point, it might be trouble me with the next slide in here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So comment, feedback, or any sign should not do during the presentation. It's not so your member will be reluctant for this one. All right. This is the thing. So, okay, so this is just a thing that you can discuss, reflect after you got after this. I will drop you the video here, and then you can see and watch and reflect on your presentation today by yourself. Since it is the mark event, and I'm not going to tell you everything right now, but we hope that what you have observed and you learn from the video, from the comment, it might be the thing that you can learn something. Okay, so that's it from my side. And how about Chandon? Anything you want to comment or even ask? It's okay as well.
Yes, good evening, all lecturer and all students in here. So today is very appreciate for a good presentation. But just a bit member, like teacher Somara said, just only a few of member, we can say like we had to rehearse or well prepare. It means to link one together because we are in group. So group is not doing by alone, so I mean all together. So I want everybody, I mean, to link together step by step, so it is more better than this. And what is very important, as my experience, also some student, we can say when doing a presentation feel nervous or feel something, but you have to know yourself. It is a good chance, and also it's a chance for you. So you have to release something and more confident than this. Okay, so I mean all of you are good. Okay, thank you very much and wish you good luck in the next defense. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chandon, for your comment. Okay, Lecturer Seng Long, anything else you want to add?
You have asked all the 3 main points presented by the candidate already. So thank you. Anyway,
Okay.
so you have asked for me. And the reason that I cannot catch the point because at my house it's raining heavily now. I cannot hear clearly. So.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, at my house as well. It's heavy raining now.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you. And let's just hear from Mr. Savanara. Any comment or feedback about this one to your member? Savanara here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, come on. Any comment or feedback?
Yes, the first I would like to say, thank you for Dr. Somara that you are spend your special time to join for my group member presentation today. And one more thing, thank you, lecturer Seng Long, and you are not yet could hear, but try to join. And one more thing, thank you, Mr. Long Philip and Mr. Petday, academic office, and joining today. Yeah, for me, one more thing, Mr. Chandon. Yeah, hello, Mr. I just met you today. And I heard your name a long time ago, but I just saw you today. And one more thing, my group member try to present today. Miss D.R. Somara said, Mr. Sakom still has hesitate in his presentation. So that something from the idea from the lecturer Seng Long and D.R. Somara, you should to follow that, because this is a special point. And one more thing, there are question. Be careful. This is a very special point that to help you to be success in your real defense in next time. Yeah, thank you, lecturer, and thank you everyone. This is for my.
Okay, thank you for the idea of the supervisor, right? Okay, so any commitment from the group leader of the Practicum here? Any commitment or investing with this one? What should you do next?
Yes, thank teacher and thank all examiner as well, our supervisor. And this is our mock defense, but it is the first time of us, and the final round we will fight for the last one, and it is better than this, I promise. And last but not least, we are really appreciate to be here, teachers, and it's time to finish our defense. And thank teacher and thank everyone for paying attention.
Okay, so thank you Lihu, for your commitment. How about Mr. Din? Any comment or feedback? Philip, are you here? Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here. You know, you are here, and I do not have much.
Please.
What I want you all, the student, and I need to say appreciate so much to all the students, you know, who are present here, and especially the presenter today and examiners, yep, and supervisors, and also the representative from our institute that he is here, that they pay much time, you know, and for the student, such supervising student, they're from Mr. Aswanra, and that's also Mr. Saying Long and Mr. Somara and Mr. Chandon that pay much time to write this mock defense, you know, and very special times that you all do it. Yeah, and you have done it well for all of you guys, and I hope you will do it better than today in the next times. Even today, just as the first time of some student, you know, but some student that is not the first time for them, right? And as we listen to the suggestion from the examiner, Mr. Somara and Mr. Seng Long, yep. So I hope all the trainee, I hope all the present here, they will take, and then they will and correct, you know, from what the examiner mean today, right? So this is very nice idea. This is very good idea that you have to put in your folder and to practice it and to correct it for you yourself as the teacher in the future. Even now you are a fresh teacher, but in the future, right, and you will be the professional teacher. And I wish you all pass your mock defense and even your final defense, you know, in the future. So thank you so much, all of you, and especially for Mr. Somara as the leader of the examiner. Right? Thank you so much. That's it. Right?
Thank teacher for your good advice, teacher.
Thank you. Okay, ចឹងអរគុណច្រើនបាទសម្រាប់ការចូលរួមមកជាពិសេសលោកគ្រូសេងឡុងបាទលោកចន្ទនបាទ supervisor Din និងលោកគ្រូប្រក្តីដែរបានចូលរួមបាទហើយខ្ញុំសូមនិយាយជាខ្មែរពីចាស់ណាថាយើងអត់តន់តែចឹងមិនមែនថាក្រុមទេប៉ុន្តែទាំងអស់គ្នាយើងអាចនឹងជួបបញ្ហានឹងទាំងអស់គ្នាណាចុះបើខ្ញុំបារម្ភបំផុតបាទនៅពេលដែលចំណាបើយើងតាំងចិត្តធ្វើជាគ្រូម្នាក់យើងត្រូវតែមានអាវុធក្នុងដៃមានថាត្រូវតែដឹងឲ្យច្បាស់ថាតើសេចក្ដីជាអាវុធឬក៏ជាគុណអាវុធរបស់គ្រូនឹងដូចជាអាវុធអញ្ចឹងមិនថាយើងត្រូវតែមានអាហ្នឹងយើងត្រូវដឹងថាអូឥឡូវដូចកសិករធ្វើស្រែធ្វើជាការត្រូវដឹងថាស្អីគេជា chia xong về để chăm bài sự nghiệp cả tung cả đo cả trộn cắt từ pra ấy nhưng đăng thú chẳng kêu có thể đăng đôi cái này chẳng nhưng thời tại khi sát phai thua nó mà giờ lại nhà chip chỉ kêu một riêng những cái này chẳng đi nhom ban mơ tầm mà krom thế là mà krom sinh tiến đăng tháp ba mấy cờ mà ta đi chia cùng được mỗi dạng tha trong ai từng ở khía bà thay dương lại chip chỉ kêu một riêng sông vùng răng từ là bà chùm đây chùm đi chạy tôn là cả một riêng nước chi diêm an chi diêm ấy những cái đấy chi diêm an chi diêm sừng kết nhưng miền Trung đó ta thấy ban là nơi nông Practicum kia đầm đầu như tờ sừng kết nào riêng hay đấy bà từ xa khi trong ai dương riêng bị cái nia bản thang bây để dương an pi bị xa bằng riêng muối dương ai chùm này pi máu bay máu dương thưa tới ọt thiệt tại bởi dương tờ sừng kết mưa kia tạ kia bà riêng chúng ta tờ sừng kết ta cả lá máu rồi có phèn đòn tí dương ban phải chạy cái tên này cả một riêng thì có thời chạy tên này cả một riêng mua dương màu giờ mọp lái đi vào xa đây anh đang chia với để dưới chỉ con số bắt này cả sừng kết bản thang kêu một riêng class và trong tay thì số tha person mà kêu mình nè có admin là ca này ca cho từ riêng nơi sala kêu sao đây nơi chia sẻ chỉ đạo prom rồi có admin là ca riêng một chia teaching methodology nơi sala đây nơi dương dẫn và rồi có ad bạn này có ad ban từ tu ban ca và đọc và đa ad từ ban từ tu ca và đọc và đa tại này kêu sao nơi sala và đọc đã cứu được có nơi tam sở lá đại bờ riêng vì thị xã bờ riêng đấy có nhờ các chỗแต่ตาคนไอ้มีแต่การคลายจิตรูบริเวณอบ้านได้หรืออัดนั่งสำนวนยมตายจะสู้ได้บ้านหรืออัดอะไรมันสู้สมชายดีไหมอันนั้นได้เชื่อสำนวนยังสู้นะมาจังนำมาชายแล้วเดี๋ยวซาเปรียจันออกได้ให้จังก่อนlà chun phần đấy mà chân ca của mình ngày ní bác trong của mình trăm mà đôi sự không mà đôi sự phép mà mình chỉ cam mà chứ còn ta trong bà ram người ta tẹt tâu nên chuyển đổi những trong thà cái gì cũng đang bật thém và hai dương ai vô vi đầm bay improve bật thém tiết từ xa dương còn ai nhìn về từ của mình này lợi bị chật ấy chờn thì mình ta về nước miền tập rap chom hay dương ai vô từ anh what vừa ca rồi múa hay ai những vô máu và thôi phần nào thì phần đấy rồi là ô hay trong nắng có thể tại chui khi đây bài ta những trong bài nhẹ là hay trên pin nắng nơi nắng thời ba nắng có dư thời chui miên nát ní hay dừng màu xóm màu đó màu xóm giờ nát này thôi ban là ai ta bà dừng ăn bằng cháo dừng là ai đó bà dừng cái lọ mà dừng là hồi đầu miền đẹp lắm ai đi phân đi Practicum đi phân tránh đào cái cam cá thả lâu giấy mà giấy xây cái bao giấy ăn lấy tranh giấy ăn tranh thì đó miền này kể năng này chia để chụp này mua chụp bài nhà mình thành này còn bong tờ đuổi cho người dân slong của thấy chứ người ta dân và than đi tiết chứ ai từ đuổi thầy nó cho đợi và sao trơn bà còn là thay dạng đá mà nơi tại đồng bân tha chia ca vùng rừng mình thém là bờ chọn là việc cứu hay là nó được chia nơi khang sả lá logo Philip được chuyển miền ran trim ran short course này và tham gia trong vấn đề chào và đóng ai tẹt tông từ logo Philip tẹt tông từ thiên vẹn clay hậu hai tới nhưng ai là và xa đấy bà đi bên ca promotion người ta trong tha oi từng ngọc trong riêng chắc người ta bờ sân gì dương thưa tới ban là và xa chớn anh nói dương bậc cài bên đây dương ai ban thạo ca vì chip nâng hái dương ai chui con mai dương ban chớn tiền tại dương ọt và cái hay dương và riêng cái khó và dương mà nè non cái không thầy sao giống nè mà nè anh thử phải giảm tinh cho nó mà cái tàu nâng ca và riêng nâng ta phải dùng sử dụng bia mà bền lắm chẳng đang sầm nô mua để cua giờ cách ta xây các chia dương flop khơi biết ha approach method hay đang technique flop khơi nhé và chẳng ai sự thật và xây các cái hạ thà approach xây các cái hạ thà method xây các cái hạ thà technique đấy chẳng việc học niệm mấy nâng teaching techniques teaching method teaching approach đấy học niệm mấy đấy chẳng ai rồi máu hay bạn mấy thì được dùng đôi những số tại tôn nâng ca qua về từ lesson at thiêu nắng thì qua mấy những người dân thời đăng này cứu cái này dương vô ai mua từ ai ký dương thời đăng tháng khi từ tôi với ban ăn vàចឹងយើងត្រូវដឹងយើងត្រូវវាស់វែងត្រូវហោហែនឹងជាធាតុមួយសំខាន់សម្រាប់គ្រូចឹងក្នុង reflection paper របស់យើង5ចំណុចហ្នឹងសំខាន់ណាស់សំខាន់ហើយមួយទៀតចង់ជូនសារចុងក្រោយមកថាក្នុង defense នេះយើងចង់បានបទពិសោធន៍ទាំងអស់គ្នាច្រើនជាងបច្ចេកទេសអញ្ចឹងក្នុងការធ្វើបទបង្ហាញមិនបាច់ចាំបន្តិចអីចឹងគាត់ថាយើងអាចយកបទពិសោធន៍របស់យើងមក share មកចែកម្លែកច្រើនដែលយើងចង់បានគាត់ថាយើងមក defend មិនថាយើងហៅថា reflection paper គឺយើង reflect ពីអ្វីដែលយើងទទួលបានពីការបង្រៀនរបស់យើងនឹងហើយយើងជួបបញ្ហាអីខ្លះយើងជួបបញ្ហាយើងដោះស្រាយវាបែបម៉េចអាហ្នឹងវាយើងចង់ឮកុំឲ្យតែ practicum 10ក្រុមតែណាក៏និយាយតែចំណុចដូចគ្នាហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងអាហ្នឹងមិនមែនជា reflection paper ទេអាហ្នឹងគេថា copy paper អញ្ចឹងអាហ្នឹងដែលជាសារមួយចង់ថាយើងកុំឲ្យលំនាំដូចនេះយកតែជំនាន់មុនមកដល់ជំនាន់ទីប្រហែលទី9ហើយបាទយើងជំនាន់ទី9អញ្ចឹងបាទនៅតែដូចជំនាន់ទី1ហ្នឹងជាបញ្ហាអញ្ចឹងបាទមិនជា reflection paper ទេណាអញ្ចឹងត្រូវប្រយ័ត្នលើហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងសូមពិនិត្យមើលហើយខំប្រឹងណាខំប្រឹងហើយយើងអាចរីកចម្រើនទាំងអស់គ្នាណាបាទអញ្ចឹងជូនប៉ុណ្ណឹងហើយសម្រាប់ paper របស់យើងខ្ញុំអត់ទាន់បានមើលខ្ញុំនិយាយដោយស្មោះត្រង់អត់ទាន់បានចូលមើលទេអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំនឹងមើលនៅល្ងាចហ្នឹងយប់ហ្នឹងហើយខ្ញុំនឹងជូនទៅវិញតាមក្រោយណាហើយបាទសង្ឃឹមថាបាទលោកសាស្ត្រាចារ្យសេងឡុងគាត់បានមើលហើយអស់អាចនឹងមាន comment អីច្រើនហើយតែសម្រាប់ខ្ញុំដល់ឡែកអត់ទាន់បានមើលទេណាបាទដោយសារតាំងពីលីហូផ្ញើមកឲ្យមកចំថ្ងៃរវល់រហូតបាទផ្ញើមកចំថ្ងៃរវល់ទៅចប់បាទហើយបាទនឹងឯនេះគេ conference គេនៅ NAE នេះអត់ចូលរួមធ្វើមកចូលធ្វើទៀតឡើងពេញហ្នឹងអរគុណយើងខ្ញុំមានប៉ុណ្្នឹងទេហើយលោក Philip មានអីចង់បន្ថែមលោកអាចអញ្ជើញជាភាសាខ្មែរបន្តិចក៏បានបើសិនជាមានអីចង់ផ្ដាំផ្ញើបាទយើងនៅសល់4នាទីទៀតបាទយើងថា50
បាទអរគុណច្រើនបាទទាំងអស់គ្នាហើយពិសេសគឺថាអរគុណចំពោះការខិតខំប្រឹងប្រែងរបស់គ្រូដឹកនាំគ្រូណែនាំហើយនឹងបងប្អូនលោកស្រីជានិស្សិតទាំងអស់ដែលខំប្រឹងធ្វើកិច្ចការងារនឹងរហូតមកដល់បានជោគជ័យដល់កម្រិតហ្នឹងបាទអញ្ចឹងក៏ខំប្រឹងដល់ប៉ុណ្ណឹងអរគុណចំពោះគ្រូជាគណៈកម្មការមានដែលបានរៀបរាប់ឈ្មោះមុននឹងហើយគឺថាខំប្រឹងបើសិនជាមិនប្រឹងនឹងអស់គ្នាទេគឺมันបានជោគជ័យប៉ុណ្ណឹងទេហើយនេះជាជោគជ័យដ៏ធំធេងសម្រាប់ផ្ដាច់ព្រាត់ថ្ងៃហ្នឹងណាជាការលំបាកណាស់ទម្រាំតែណាការលំបាកណាស់អញ្ចឹងហើយជោគជ័យហើយអ្វីដែលខ្ញុំផ្ដាំទៅទៀតគឺថាសូមឲ្យសហការគ្នាបន្តកែតម្រូវអ្វីដែលលោកគ្រូយើងបានផ្ដល់គំនិតយោបល់កែមុនហ្នឹងហើយធ្វើកិច្ចការងារនឹងបន្តរហូតដល់ចប់បោះពុំបាទការពារចប់ចុងក្រោយនឹងប្រឡងចេញទទួលបានសញ្ញាបត្រហើយថ្ងៃដែលទទួលសញ្ញាបត្រហ្នឹងទៅទាំងអស់គ្នាទៅល្អដែរទាំងគ្រូយើងនឹងអីទៅជាម្យ៉ាងបាទគឺជាអ្វីដែលជាអ្វីដែលវាមានតម្លៃនៅក្នុងជីវិតរបស់យើងមិនអាចកាត់ថ្លៃបានទេដែលឪពុកម្ដាយបងប្អូនប៉ាម៉ាក់យើងគាត់បានបញ្ជូនយើងទាំងអស់គ្នាបានរៀនសូត្រប៉ុណ្ណឹងគឺថាសំខាន់ណាស់បាទខ្ញុំសូមឲ្យជោគជ័យគ្រប់គ្នាហើយពាក់ព័ន្ធជាមួយនឹងវគ្គខ្លីលោកគ្រូស្មារាមានប្រសាសន៍អញ្ចឹងថាបើសិនជាបងប្អូននិស្សិតចង់តែបំពន់ខាងផ្នែកបង្រៀននឹងទៀតគឺយើងមានវគ្គខ្លីមួយគឺវគ្គខាង TESOL អញ្ចឹងតែម្ដងបាទខាងផ្នែក teaching នឹងតែម្ដង TESOL ដែលមានគ្រូរបស់យើងនៅទីនឹងចាំជួយបង្រៀនបាទហើយយើងជជែកគ្នាក្នុងតម្លៃសមស្របណាមួយទទួលយកបានបងប្អូននិស្សិតទាំងអស់គ្នាអាចចាប់អារម្មណ៍គឺយើងបើកហ្នឹងគឺវគ្គ TESOL ហ្មងគឺថាបង្ក្រាបពីលើនេះថាបង្ក្រាបពីលើបញ្ញាបត្រនឹងទៅទៀតណាបង្ក្រាបពីលើបញ្ញាបត្រមានថាយើងមានហើយយើងបន្ថែមមកពីលើទៀតមករយៈពេលទៀតហ្នឹងគឺថាយើងកាន់តែ professional ហើយក្នុងផ្នែក teaching អញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំនឹងសូមជួបបងប្អូននិស្សិតនៅពេលដែលការពារចប់ចុងក្រោយដើម្បីទៅជែកគ្នារឿងវគ្គហ្នឹងហើយបើសិនថាចាប់អារម្មណ៍ទេគ្រប់របស់យើងមានអាចឆានតាក់ទងសួរគ្នាមកខ្ញុំនឹងផ្ដល់ជាគំនិតយោបល់ឲ្យហើយយើងនឹង ធ្វើកិច្ចការងារនឹងទៅទាំងអស់គ្នាហើយតម្លៃថ្លៃថ្នូរយើងជជែកគ្នាក្នុងអ្វីដែលសមរម្យណាមួយណាយើងមិនអាចថាលើសពេកតិចពេកណាមកសមរម្យណាមួយហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងបាទអញ្ចឹងសូមអរគុណប៉ុណ្ណឹងជូនពរទាំងអស់គ្នាជោគជ័យម្ដងទៀតណាជោគជ័យបាទសូមអរគុណជំរាបលាណា
អរគុណច្រើនបាទអ្នកចង់វគ្គខ្លីក៏មកទៅអ្នកដែលចង់ master ក៏មានអរគុណដែរគាត់ថាជាកំណត់យោបល់ណាគាត់ថាមិនជាការបខំមិនជាការនេះទេគាត់ថាវាជាចំណុចដែលយើងត្រូវគិតទៅបីជាមិនចូលវគ្គខ្លីក៏ត្រូវតែអានត្រូវតែអីទៅនឹងតែបើថាចង់បានសភៅតាក់ទងមកខ្ញុំអត់ឲ្យទេតែបើថាចង់បានមិនខ្វះទេណាបាទអញ្ចឹងឲ្យទៅអត់អាននាំតែធ្ងន់មិនសិនដោយគ្រូសៃឡុងថាមិនសិនដើរលេងចង់រួចហើយដាក់ធ្ងន់ពេកតែបើយកទៅអានចាំយកអត់អានកុំយកអរគុណអញ្ចឹងអរគុណអ្នកគុណចាស់ទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទអញ្ចឹងជំរាបលាលោកគ្រូបាទលោកសាស្ត្រាចារ្យទាំងអស់គ្នាបានចូលរួមបាទលោកព្រឹទ្ធបរោះបាទលោកប្រធានការិយាល័យសិក្សានិងនិស្សិតទាំងអស់គ្នាបានអញ្ជើញចូលរួមហើយសង្ឃឹមថាជោគជ័យទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទចឹងមកពេល final ដឹងសំណួរខ្លះហើយណាបាទអរគុណបាទសុខភាពល្អទាំងអស់គ្នាបាទអរគុណជំរាបលាបាទអរគុណបាទ
បិទផង